Well, you know who's figured it out? Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears. All of a sudden, he is the favorite to win Coach of the Year in the NFL, followed by Robert Saleh and then Jim Harbaugh. So Matt Eberflus with a brand new quarterback.
What is this based off of?
Well, listen, I mean, they're just projections.
What's the projections?
Caleb Williams.
Is that it?
Damn right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Keenan Allen.
CW18.
Yeah, I want to wager on it. You want to bring live bet Jesus into this one? Even though it ain't a live bet.
What are you putting a wager on? If Matt Eberflus wins Coach of the Year?
Yes.
I don't like that bet. I think Caleb Williams is going to win Rookie of the Year.
I think he'll win Rookie of the Year. You know what?
I'll give you the field. I'll take Caleb Williams. I'll give you the field.
If you're giving me the field, I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that. Gentleman's wager or for donation? What are we doing? Write it down. Somebody write it down.
Well, Lee's got this. He stores this.
Yeah, sure he does.
We'll do a $100 donation.
Lee's holding on to a different type of paper right now.
Is he not even in the studio?
Yeah, you got
he's it.
You got to be careful when you write on one ply.
Dang.
But
double ply is way better.
So Matt Eberflus, he's got this new quarterback.
He's got this new quarterback?
Number one pick of the draft.
Okay.
They've added pieces around him, not just Keenan Allen, but they went out and added Gerald Everett. He's going to be there as well, too. They've added DeAndre Swift. He's there as well, too. The offensive line, people think, is promising. Okay. They've shown flashes.
Defense is pretty good.
Defensively, yeah. And Matt Eberflus is defensive head coach.
Got my baby Kwani B in the back.
That's right. So if Shane Waldron, the OC, can get the offense on track, it would make some sense that maybe they would take some strides. But it's just also an acknowledgement that, you know, Justin Fields was maybe holding them back at times last year.
I think they end up third or fourth in the NFC North, third or fourth in their own division. So if that equates to you getting Coach of the Year and getting Rookie of the Year, then let's go with it. But I see Detroit winning it. I see Green Bay maybe edging Detroit out to win it, so that would give them a second place. So if you want to flip-flop Detroit and Green Bay, and the only reason why I would say they have odds favor on Minnesota is because they have a rookie quarterback as well that possibly that's going to start as well. You got two rookie QBs, but they're going to be battling it out for third and fourth as well in their respective division, if you ask me. So I don't know how you get Coach of the Year or get Rookie of the Year, depending on maybe his performances, but, you know, it is what it is to me. That's how I see it.
They went 7-10 last year, right? They started off 3-14, Eberflus's first year. 7-10 last year, which, you know, you could look at the job that they've done on the roster, I think, as part of the growth that you saw from Justin Fields, but also around him. I mean, getting him DJ Moore, getting him some help, the offensive line plays better. That's the big question is the roster in a position around the quarterback position to be able to – look, Caleb Williams could be generational. That was what the word people threw around about him. You know, the only comp you can really make to him, some people, you know, look at Rodgers as far as the way he kind of throw off platform and kind of the flick of the wrist. Some say Mahomes, whatever you want to compare him to. When you're using those two names as a comp, clearly people think he's special. And so if he is that special, how high could he take him in his first year? I mean, I think he could get them to a winning record. But if you look at the division around them, I mean, Minnesota's probably going to be starting a rookie quarterback. I think it's going to be J.J. McCarthy. If not, it's going to be Sam Darnold to start off with. And so maybe you feel more optimistic about that. I'm not really sure how people feel. I think Sam Darnold, with the talent they have in Minnesota, could really flourish, could play really well in that system. We got to see. Can Detroit replicate what they did last year? I mean, that's a team that everyone's excited about. They're excited to watch them maybe this time around. You listen to guys like Aiden Hutchinson talk about getting the Super Bowl now. Like this is their year. They feel like they're going to get to the, you know, NFC Championship game, move on, get the Super Bowl. You know, that's where they feel like they're at. And maybe they are, but it's really, really hard to sustain that level of consistent success. So I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to improve on the 7-10 record. I think they get to 8-9, 9-8. Their schedule's kind of funky. That's the only way I can put it. But it's not the most difficult schedule. The bye comes about halfway through the season. They start off with Tennessee, at Houston, at Indy, and then they go to L.A., Carolina, Jacksonville. It's like spurts of home and then away because they come out of the bye playing back-to-back road games.
That seems like
a
favorable deal, though.
Kind of. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, they will basically play a home game November 24th.
I mean,
versus
I know you're
Minnesota.
high on Carolina, but that I think they might be able to pull that one out.
I'm not high on them.
We're going to get to them soon.
But hear me out. Hear me out. They play at home November 24th. They don't come back home again till December 22nd. So that's how their schedule kind of shapes out. It's a weird, streaky schedule, and I think sometimes it's hard when you've got either new pieces or young pieces. When you have to navigate a schedule like that, it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're back-to-back weeks on the road, 3 weeks at home, back-to-back weeks on the road, couple weeks at home. Like, it's tough to adjust to in your first year playing. I do think they'll be improved.
I also like how the schedule makers are like, all right, so it's the Bears' turn to play the AFC South. How do we want to break this up? We'll give them Tennessee, Houston, Indy the first 3 weeks. All right, that works. And then we'll figure out everything else after that. And then they go play overseas, and they've got that bye that you mentioned. If they're a 9-win team, which would be an improvement over the 7 from a year ago, does that get you Coach of the Year? Like, I look at it, I think Jim Harbaugh at 11-1 is the one to watch for Coach of the Year because there's more knowns than there is in Chicago. Like, we know Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. We know that Jim Harbaugh's a good coach. We know that last year a lot of that had to do with the Brandon Staley debacle and the fiasco there. Herbert got injured at some point during the season. I look at Jim Harbaugh as being the one to watch for Coach of the Year next year. Because I just think there's more that you can count on there that you've seen.
I'm a go out on the ledge and say I'm looking at a Harbaugh to be the Coach of the Year, but not Jim. I'm looking at John.
God, you're going to do it again. I knew it.
Yep.
Let me tell people behind the scenes. This is what happened here. LaVar and I had picked the Ravens to go to a Super Bowl or make a deep run for years.
And they keep letting us down.
And they always let us down. And then
since we started the show, really, last year was the year I jumped off.
Hey, this is the year, though, boys.
This is the year.
But last year was the year that we were like finally like, all right, I'm out on Baltimore. They've broken our hearts too many times.
Out.
And then they go and host an AFC title game before they melted down against KC.
Dang.
And so now it's like, all right, no, now we're going to get back. That's why I'm not. No, I'm not doing it.
Do it.
I'm not going to reverse course.
But you took a Harbaugh. Think about it.
I'll take Jim.
I'm going to stick with John.
Yeah.
This year's for John.
Well
I'm
done.
taking John.
The great Pat Bowlen. So, Brady, who's your Coach of the Year? You got to put your hard-earned Costco dollars down on some Coach of the Year action. Who you got?
Oh, man. That's a tough one because I feel like this is one of the harder award winners in the NFL season to predict only because, you look at like a team that suffers a bunch of injuries like Cleveland last year, and then it leads to Kevin Stefanski having 4 quarterbacks start for him.
That's a great point.
And so it's like you're not anticipating a team battling through adversity like that.
True.
Oh, man. Because in my head I'm thinking more similar to LaVar, like John Harbaugh, a team that finally gets over the hump to get to the Super Bowl, like they win it. But oftentimes it ends up being a team that battles through something. So
I hear you want me to give you the odds, the list of names. All right, so Eberflus is the favorite on DraftKings at 9-1, followed by Robert Saleh, LaVar's guy, and then Jim Harbaugh at 11-1, and then you've got Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris, D'Amico Ryans, Jonathan Gannon, Dan Campbell.
D'Amico Ryans is a good one. If he could have a repeat performance of last year, that's a good one to throw in the mix.
Yeah, because he was essentially second this year, right?
Was he? I mean, he's.
I thought he was next up to Stefanski in the voting. Was that not right?
I think so.
That would have been who I voted for. Otherwise, outside of Stefanski.
I mean, what a bang up job he did. If he can do that again this year, dude, man, why wouldn't he get it?
I'm just gonna say Robert Saleh just to steal
good move.
Cheez-Its.
Good move.
What? I said Cheez-Its.
That's a good move.